mládežnická reprezentantka Slovenska Dominika Švaňová. From Sweden came here in personal best 6:73, the European champion in U20.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 11th edition of the JBL Jump Fest, a World Athletics Continental Tour silver meeting. And tonight we've got two fantastic competitions heading your way in the form of the elite men's triple jump and the elite women's long jump, which you're seeing introduced right now on your screen. The field is a very strong one. Now, last year we saw a meeting record in the elite men's long jump from Tajay Gale, the first ever 8-metre plus jump in the contest. This year, organisers believe both records are under threat. So we have some big names being introduced at the moment. Monet Nichols out there now. She was second here last year.
National record holder of Bahamas, Andrea Charlton.
There, Charlton, the Bohemian, just being introduced and taking a nice jog down the track. Now, JBL Jump Fest have invested in a brand new piece of track for the runway for this competition, and they're very, very excited to see the results that it could yield. There's Hilary Kapacha soaking up the atmosphere in Kosice.
Bronze medalist from Indoor World Championships 2024, representing Jamaica, Kelly Smith.
Kelly Smith then, the one that will close off each round, should be 8th in the jumping order. You can already see how much these athletes enjoy being on the runway, enjoy competing against each other. But here's the men's triple jump field. Amafe, the one that leads us out.
The national record holder of Austria, 1685. Enduras
Kingley. World finalist from Tokyo 2025, fourth at the World Juniors back in 2021. Opened this season already, but he'll be looking to improve on that season's best of 15:15. Russell Robinson, 8th in the triple jump world indoor final in 2025.
Bronze medalist from World Championships 2023, Christian
Napoles. World bronze a few years ago in Budapest. World under-18 champion back in his junior career as well.
1964, silver medalist from World Championships 2023 and the indoor World Champion 2026, Lazaro
Martinez. Nice big waves to the crowd. Now he is a man of many talents, many medals indeed. 2024 winner of this event as well, so he'll be having fond memories of Kosice. Jordan Scott looking very relaxed as he trots down the runway. Current world leader.
Olympic Games 2024 and the World Champion U20 in 2022,
Jaden Hibbert completes the lineup for the men's triple jump competition. Well, field events, as they always have, such a great vibe about them, such a great bond between themselves and their competitors. It's so exciting, so welcoming almost to spectators to see this and to witness it. And it really, really does draw you into the event, makes you so invested. Once again, an undoubtedly fantastic competition heading our way this evening. Now, there have been a few adverse weather conditions today in Kosice. The rain seems to have dried up a bit. The wind hopefully has died down somewhat, but we'll, I guess, get a better idea of that as the competition does progress. There's the overview of what is a really beautiful city. And there is the graphic for our women's long jump start list. Travanova be the one to start us off today. 18 years old, competing on home soil. Grafanova will be looking to draw some confidence from this. Her PB in has PB indoors in Ostrava in February. That had her 18th on the World Under-20 indoor year list. So she's had a good 2026 so far. And a few oohs and ahs to the crowd as we get the 2026 JBL Jump Fest underway. Go on the board straight away. Board being such a technical aspect, of course, and we'll discuss it endlessly throughout this evening. $5.50 for her first mark. Her season's best $5.95 for context, so she's got a mark on the board, and now is the time that she can really push on. She knows that she's got something down, and often athletes find that relaxes them. Straight away, Johansson getting the crowd involved. Great speed on the runway then. She might have been a fraction over on the board. Replay here. Close, wasn't it? Now that to me looked absolutely spot on. Don't get much closer than that. Real art to be able to nail the board. 6.10 for her opening jump.
Now from Jamaica,
Mia Robinson then, the third one to take her first round jump. Now a red flag, the first we've seen this evening, so a foul in round one for Robinson. She's sixth at the World Indoor Champs in Poland this year, and there was a bit of controversy surrounding the board at those championships, so she knows just how careful she has to be, and you can see there she wasn't over by all that much, so minor adjustments to be made for the Jamaican as we head into round two a little bit later on. Monet Nichols, the American, often putting on such a show. That looked pretty good as an opening round jump, perhaps a little bit far back on the board. You can see, yeah, she doesn't even touch it. So lots of space to be gained, lots of centimetres to be added, but 6.69 for Monet Nichols in her opening round is a very strong jump with a lot of potential as we move forwards as well. Thea Charlton, Bohemian. Wasn't quite able to get her legs fully stretched out in front of her then. Almost dropping them a little bit too soon. Perhaps a little bit more distance to be gained in that jump. And the technical, intrinsic feedback that these athletes get almost straight away from how this jump felt is incredible. So she will know what adjustments to make as we move into the next round in a bit. But 6.83 is her outdoor best. That was set earlier on this season and actually equalled the national record for the Bahamas. We know that she's in pretty decent form. She'll be looking to just push that further and completely take that record for herself. But Hilary Kapachka on the runway. Another one with a few adjustments to make on the board. Cleopatra, a 7:02 jumper at her best. And that really does take some beating. Instantly over to talk to coach. 6:29.
6:29, and it's second place. Nicole still on the first position. And now it's ready on runway representing Jamaica, Kelly Smith.
Kelly Smith close off round one of this elite women's long jump competition. She was 8th in the world triple jump competition in Tokyo 2025. She's a multi-talented athlete. Look at the speed on that. Really accelerated into takeoff there. Looked good on the board. Yeah, no concern about the red flag. In fact, centimetres to be gained. 6:44.
Kelly Smith je druhá, 6:44. So second place for Kelly Smith, 6:44. No a teraz budeme meniť dosku, pretože o malú chvíľočku nám začne skákať aj...
It really is a unique meeting, JBL Jump Fest. It happens every year, of course, and takes place in the city centre of Kosice, at the foot of the St. Elizabeth Cathedral. It's a street meeting that does produce an absolutely unreal atmosphere year in, year out, and they are growing it year on year. In fact, they even had Ivana Spanovic competing in the open women's triple jump. This was a long-time aim of the organisers, and they were able to finally make it happen this year, which just is testament to the event's growth. There's a real passion behind the event that is held here each year. But there is a start list for the elite men's triple jump contest. We're seeing those guys in action very, very soon. Right, it was obvious to him very, very quickly. So no mark for Fate in round one. He's already PB'd this season, in fact. His season's best and personal best 16:71, so he knows it's in there. Kingley, world triple jump finalist back in Tokyo. Looking to improve on his season's best 15:15 this evening. Again, another athlete perhaps just not quite able to get the legs out fully in front of them. Just cutting that jump slightly short. He's already knocked that season's best out of the park. 15:79 for Kingley. 15:79. So we move on then to Russell Robinson. 17:30 his personal best. Former indoor NCAA triple jump champion. Good speed there, and look at the momentum that he gained in the 3 stages. Kind of stumbles out the pit a little bit, doesn't he, as he's watching the officials with the flags.
Na doskočisko už to vyzeralo, že on vyletí dokonca aj dráhy. Pozrite sa, ako tesne skákal z jeho pohľadu po tej pravej strane. Na doske bol asi
plenty of space there. So these athletes will often be having a coach or a spectator, a family member perhaps, filming their performance, and they will be able to feel how good they were on the board as well. And then they'll go back, they'll make adjustments on their run-ups, they'll move their marker slightly forward, slightly backwards to try and really optimise every single centimetre they can gain. And there's quite a bit of improvement, especially in round one. We see so much that the athletes can alter because they can only warm up to a certain level, and of course competition then takes you the rest of the way. But Christian Kosice getting himself and the crowd hyped up. Bit of a stutter into the board, but great speed can carry through, and the red flag you can see in the background.
Just to wait for second attempt, maybe to make some good result.
Very short strides at the end of his run-up, and wasn't quite able to line it up properly.
Lazaro Martinez, ready on runway.
Lazaro Martinez. Next, world silver medalist in 2023, world bronze in 2025, world indoor champion in 2022. Global medals, he's got a few. A slight slap of frustration there, but we're only in round one, just behind the board, so a bit of wasted space. 17.64 is best. And yeah, that's where the frustration's coming from. Miles behind the board. 16.40 though. Not a bad way to open his account.
16.40, just 5 centimeters away of Robinson on the first plate.
And now Jordan Scott.
Jordan Scott of Jamaica.
Fifth in Tokyo last year. Fantastic speed on that, and that's big. It's the biggest we've seen so far tonight. Big cheers from the crowd. Jamaican starting to show why JBL Jump Fest does attract some big names and some big crowds as well. Good on the board. Minor adjustments maybe, but nothing too big. 17.43.
JBL Jump Festu, ten rekord 17.20 Biaza, ktorý tu padol pred 2 rokmi, je teraz v tejto chvíli
Jaden Hibbett.
JBL Jump Fest videl najdlhší skok trojskoku mužov v histórii.
Fourth at the Paris Olympic Games in 2024. A painful position to finish at times, but one that most definitely as an athlete will keep you hungry. Good start for Jaden Hibbett, and you can see how much he's enjoying the atmosphere, the music. Athletes allowed to. Another athlete a bit behind the board. 16.53, plenty of space for him to improve throughout this competition. 17.87 his best.
Potrebujeme trošku vystavovať, že je to Niger second place, 16.53. So score remains as square with 17.43.
There's the standings after round one. Jordan Scott leading the way with that 17.43. The only one over 17 metres actually in round one. No jumps as well, of course, but plenty still on the way. Coming over. The 18-year-old with, unfortunately, a no jump. in this second round. Her outdoor best 6 meters 11.
Potom vyplní 550 tentokrát má X-ko. Rada by si vylepšila tých svojich 622, čo je osobný aj sezónny rekord tejto našej mládežníckej reprezentantky.
It's only just a foul.
Poďme sa venovať ďalšej, ktorá je pripravená, je to Šuny.
Comes back to make it a little bit tricky for athletes. It is just minor adjustments. But Johansson steps up. Fifth in the European Under-23 Championships a few years ago. There goes the white flag, so that's a little bit of frustration from her. Slightly further back on the board than we saw in her first round jump, but decent nonetheless.
Majsterka Európy do 20 rokov behu na 100 metrovce sprintačky a druhá v diaľke.
5.99. It's no improvement on that first round.
599.
Mia Robinson looking to get something on her card now. No jump in round one. It's important that she does get something down soon so it doesn't start to impact her psychologically too much in this competition. Unfortunately, it looks like another foul.
Mia Robinson by mohla skákať ďaleko. Predsa len tohto roku si skočila osobný rekord 682.
Yeah, just getting that 4 foot over the plasticine.
Ale v Spojených štátoch
What used to be plasticine, I should say. It's all done on lasers and things like that now, but
poďme Spojeným štátom americkým a
another no jump for Robinson.
tejto súťaže, ktorá skočila 669 v prvom pokuse.
For a 6.69 outdoor personal best, so can perform very, very strongly outdoors. That's an incredibly competitive mark to set. Monet Nichols currently leading this competition. She really is soaring there, isn't she? Strong on the board. Dare say that may have been an improvement. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, 664, very close. The two very consistent jumps in the opening 2 rounds for last year's runner-up. Carlton storming down the runway. That's a no jump, unfortunately, way over on the board. Really did get some distance on that, though.
Ešte dvojica tých, ktoré už v kariére preleteli 7 metrov. Najbližšie na rampe pripravená francúzska reprezentantka.
Henrika Pacha sat in third at the moment. 4th at the Tokyo World Championships in 2025. 5th at the Europeans in 2024. Her name is always in the conversation. .629, the mark to beat. Way behind the mark on the board.
Zatiaľ Hilary Pacha nám tu skočila 629, preto je priebežne tretia. Teraz vidíme detail na doske, dokonca možno aj centimetry.
Plenty of room for her to gain. And that could really make a big difference if she can sort that out. But 649 is enough to move her up to second.
Smith Second place.
We'll step up now to close off round 2. Context, by the way, because it is under threat. The meeting record is 6 meters 70. That was set back in 2024. Another nice jump from Smith. 6:44 opener. Not bad on the board. $6.50, so it is an improvement.
Season best, 6.50. Smith is back on second place. Just 19 centimeters behind Mona Nichols, the leader of this competition. Now, again.
There you go, Mona Nichols, 6.69, leading the way, just 1 centimetre away from that meeting record, and in fact equals the mark of last year's winner, Kosice. So keep 6 meters 70 in your mind for that women's long jump. Jordan Scott leading the way in the triple jump contest. Way behind the board. Amafe there. Real tweaking needs to be done in his run-ups. He's not even in shot there where he takes off. 16.71 is PB. I move on then to Kingley. Already beaten his season's best in this competition. Can he go further than 15.79? Another legal jump. Another one with plenty of space on that board. $15.97. Brilliant improvement. Jump on jump so far for Kingley. Russell Robinson up next.
Almost 20 centimeters to 15.97. Now he's ready on runway. Russell Robinson, USA.
Robinson just taking his time here. No rush. There we go. These athletes do get their build-ups exactly right. The huge technicalities these jumps do involve. You can see in this instance Robinson unable to quite nail it down. The red flag does go up. Significantly over on the board there. So a no jump in round 2.
teda 6. výkon 15.82, 15.82, and it's going to 6th place. No a teraz ďalší gománec, ktorý nám tu jeden ročník vyhral.
Martinez.
Lazaro Martinez.
Gets himself ready. 4th at the World Indoors in Poland a couple of months back. Former World Under-20 champion, so he loves the big moments, does Martinez. He's already reeled off so many of his global medals.
Lazaro Martinez snáď si vylepší štvrtú pozíciu a ten výkon 16.40. Má tam 5 cm na Robinsona a 13 cm stráca na druhého Hiberta. Lazaro Martinez, halový majster sveta z posledného šampióna.
16.82 was a really nice improvement.
16.82 and
42 centimetres added there.
is going to second place instead of Jadon Hibbert. Tak Hibberta odsúva na tretiu pozíciu a teraz si na druhé Martinez. No a
Well, Jordan Scott has in fact already surpassed the previous meeting record with 17.43. The old record was 17.20, so our organisers were certainly correct in saying these records were under threat this evening because Scott has obliterated it with just one jump. But here he goes again, plenty of room to improve. The Jamaican looking strong in these early rounds.
Jordan Scott si nevylepšil tých 17.43.
A red flag this time round. The current world leader will have to make a few edits there to his run-up.
Za chrbtom mu bude skákať teraz veľmi talentovaný a mladý a silný pretekár pôvodom Jamajčan, ktorý už skončil 17.87, Jadon Hibbert.
Jadon Hibbert. Great time. Really enjoying the vibes. Okay, so excited to see what he can potentially do with LA in 2028. Good on the board. Well, safe on the board, I should say. Perhaps not good. Plenty of space wasted, but those are centimetres that he'll try and gain back. 6.64. Another good improvement. Not quite enough for Hibbert to compete at the top of this competition just yet. Sunset over that amazing city. Jordan Scott are far and away our leader at the moment. Martinez trying to close down a 42 centimetre improvement in round two for Martinez. But Jordan Scott at the moment will happily collect his winnings at the end of the evening. Of the women's long jump contest that will be rejoining now. Shavanova. The young 18-year-old struggling to perhaps find her flow in this contest. Relatively inexperienced given her young age, but one that we do know has got a lot of promise on the world stage. Like I mentioned earlier on, 18th on the world under-20 indoor year list for 2026. So 2 no jumps for her, 5.50 in the first round. What else can she pull out the bag? Hilde Johansson. A PB set back in 2019. It was a national under-20 record for Sweden at the time. That's 6.73 for context. 6.10 this evening. Now that looked a bit better to me. has got the white flag. Of course, we'll have to wait for the measurement to truly know. The crowd loving it every time she steps on the runway and gets them involved with the clapping and the momentum that she tries to gain from that energy. 6:15, so it is an improvement. Another 5 centimetres gained for Johansson, sat in 4th place currently. Now Robinson looking to try and get something here. Well, no red flag this time. It looks like it might have been close on the board. We'll get that replay in a second. Here we go. Yeah, hardly a centimetre wasted there. 6:39. It moves her up nicely into 4th place at the moment. The current event leader, Monet Nichols. Her season's best has her 2nd in the world this year. It was a world lead at the time. That's 6:95. Can she find that extra centimetre this evening to equal the meeting record? 2 centimetres to break it. She might find it if she can improve the board. 6:55. She knew it wasn't going to be quite as far. You can tell by that reaction. It was something that she expected. But Nichols remains in the lead. Anthea Charlton. Now she approached that with real speed and she was almost ferocious in that run-up. See, she's planting that foot way over on the board.
Teraz reprezentantka francúzska, ktorá chce útočiť na najvyššie priečky. Zatiaľ skočila 649.
Patcha.
20 cm na líderku Spojených štátov. Hilary Patcha.
A 7-metre plus jumper. Now, wouldn't that be special if we saw something over the 7-metre mark in this women's contest? Not this time. She opened her season just 10 days ago, and often it has athletes just searching for a bit of form, just finding their flow for the summer ahead. And you can actually see in those replays there just how much the wind is blowing, and that really can make a difference to these athletes. Their stride length can be so long, they're approaching with such speed that when they've got the wind behind them, it can just push them forward somewhat, and that can impact their run-up, and they need to make adjustments essentially on the fly to make sure that these jumps remain valid, and that can be such a tricky task, and that is essentially what we just saw happen there with Kapaccia. But Smith up next. The end of round 3. Now Smith good on the board there. Another athlete with a lifetime best over 7 metres. Plenty of room, plenty of breathing space. 6:49, so not quite her best so far this evening, but a pretty consistent card actually. of 6:44, 6:50 and 6:49. Not bad going at all. And there are the standings after round 3. Nichols still clear at the top with 6:69. Smith sat in second, Carpaccia third. But now we move back to this men's triple jump competition. Faye. Just waiting.
Všetko to bude začínať reprezentant Senegalu. Zatiaľ nám tu skočil 15:29. Je 7. To chce vylepšiť, lebo on už skákal blízko 17 metrov.
15:29 is best this evening so far. 16:71, he's already jumped that this season. He is the African triple jump champion and long jump bronze medalist from 2026. 8th of the world indoors in Poland. Perhaps not quite getting that hang in the air that you often see triple jumpers get. 16:10 though is a significant improvement on that second round, and perhaps he's just starting to feel a little bit more like himself. As Kingley gets himself ready. And you can see that hang I mentioned a few moments ago, a little bit more pronounced there by Kingley. So still another athlete just struggling to optimise that space on the board. Another improvement of 16:34. It is actually season's best. 15:15 is best coming into today for the 23-year-old. Robinson sat 4th in the competition at the moment. And that's a shame. Finding himself slightly off balance. Better that he pulled out of that jump than having anything go too far wrong. You can see he was really over to the edge of the runway. A no jump regardless. But definitely the safest option for him there to run through that instead of trying to complete. Good on the board from Napoles. And there you go, 15.99. Season's best of 16.08. So he is just edging closer to that.
No a tak ďalší Kovanec, ktorý je na tom oveľa lepšie, ten je priebežne druhý, 16.82.
Martinez, former World Under-20 champion in 2014 and 2016. World Under-18 champion, in fact, in 2013.
Toto bol slušný rytmus, zdá sa mi, že teraz mal rýchlejší rozbeh, ako má tým predkávajúci pokusov, tak dal do toho viacej energie. A či to pôjde cez 16.82, uvidíme. Zatiaľ máme jediného skokana, ktorý sa dostal cez 17.40.
Struggled with that final phase there, didn't he?
JBL Jump Festu.
That last jump, he just over-rotated slightly and he struggled to find the power to really propel himself into the sandpit. 16.34. So no improvement for the Cuban. Well then, Jordan Scott, what an evening this man's having. The current world leader, 17.66, the world lead, by the way. That is lovely. Safe on the board. A lovely hang over the entrance of the sandpit.
Jordan Scott zatiaľ výkonný 17.43 a opäť cez 17 metrov, 17.18, ale nie viac ako z prvého pokusu tých 17.43.
Oh, some big cheers there. 17.18. So another 17-meter plus jump. Not an improvement on that opening round, but very strong nonetheless. Jaden Hibbett then. Another athlete just finding themselves a little bit off balance. Quite able to execute that final stage. See in that replay there that it was the takeoff, the second step that just pushed him out to the side. He lost his balance and he wasn't able to follow through properly.
Že to otočíme od najslabšieho pokusu k najlepšiemu a tak pôjdeme až do konca. Sme polovici súťaže, všetky skokanky a všetky...
Standings after round 3 then. Martinez still in second. Jordan Scott still clear, the winner at the moment. The event leader, Monet Nichols, in a similar position with that opening round jump, 6.69, has her leading the women's long jump contest.
No a teraz opäť budeme sledovať po štvrtýkrát slovenskú reprezentantku, ktorá sa bude snažiť skočiť si viac ako 550, ale možno viac ako 622, čo je osobný...
Round 4, Travanova.
Dominika Švaňová.
Really starting to dial herself into this contest now. 2 no jumps in the previous 2 rounds. What's she got here? Another one. That's a real shame for the 18-year-old. Really unfortunate. She'll be wanting to make sure she gets a good performance this evening, and you can see she's perhaps just struggling slightly. The words with her coach there. She looks a bit frustrated. It's very understandable, really. She knows there's more in the tank. And she is showing that there is. She's just got to get that board right. Charlton then. Another no jump there too. Another one that struggled this evening. Not quite as evidently a foul for her fourth round jump. Just the top of her big toe perhaps over on the board there. Johansson. 4 national titles in her career, but only one of those is actually in the long jump competition. .6:15 her best so far this evening, sat in 5th place currently. That looked like it could be decent. White flag goes up. Plenty of room on the board still. 6:13, so just a couple of centimetres shy from that third round jump. No improvement for Johansson. Well, Nia Robinson showing she has got the focus to get herself back on track after 2 no jumps at the start of this contest. Will be another white flag here. Came down with a lot of speed there in that jump. It's good on the board, just a couple of centimetres spare. 6:25, so another safe jump recorded, but no improvement on round 3. Hilary Kopacza takes to the runway next. Former World Under-20 bronze medalist, actually, in 2016. Former European champion for the Under-23 age group, and that was in 2019. So, Kopacza always enjoying the championships. Plenty of room on the board. The athletes tonight just struggling really to get that board exactly right. Definitely something to be said for the slightly unpredictable conditions in Košice this afternoon. Like I mentioned earlier, gusts of wind can really impact it, but it is an improvement. Kopacza finds an extra few centimetres, 6:53. Smith then, in third at the moment. Wow, she really soared there, didn't she? Wonderful bit of speed, fantastic power on takeoff. Behind the board again by the looks of it. Very, very strong power on takeoff. 6:47, so another consistent jump from Smith. It's not often you see a card that consistent throughout a competition. Monet Nichols. Pole position at the moment. Let's go, she says. World Indoor Silver in 2024. Looked like a no jump there. Yeah, the red flag straight up. Oh, only just really, tip of her toe. So a no jump for the current leader in round 4. And that will mean that we return to the men's triple jump contest in a few moments. There's so much force that goes through these joints at each phase of a triple jump. It takes extreme strength and extreme power to be able to do this event and do it to the standard that these men are performing at this evening. Already, but one of the most amazing parts of this competition is that spectators are able to watch it free of charge. They're able to get tickets and sit in the grandstands and attend these events, and you can see them all stood up next to the barriers here, crowded into that street. It generates a fantastic atmosphere, and the organisers think it's really, really important to keep it free to view, free to attend. It really does help generate such a love for it. But Kingley on the runway now. Better balance there. Perhaps a slight lean off over to the left-hand side this time, but a valid jump. She's still behind the board significantly. Russell Robinson, the indoor triple jump champion for the USA. Did get the white flag there as he just tried to scrape himself out of the pit. See the strain on his face. Tries to produce the power required. 16:44. 16:45 in round one, so no improvement, but goodness, he's remarkably close to pushing that further on. He has no season's best yet this year, so good way for him to start the season. 17:30 is lifetime best, though. Jaden Hibbett will be up next. There we go. Sat in third at the moment. 16:64 is best of the evening. That was a round two jump. That was better. Struggled with that balance again, didn't he, in round three, so good to see him rectify that this time. Oh, look at that on the board, no space wasted. That was brilliant from Jaden Hibbett. And 16:69. So it is an improvement. He stays in third place. And we move now to Jordan Scott. Martinez opting to skip this round. And Scott break what is now his own meeting record from round one. 17:43. It's the best we've seen today. Oh, it looks good. The crowd know it. He knows it. Look at the grin on his face. Good on the board, just a centimetre or so back from the plasticine. 17:44, so a centimetre improvement. And he's just going to have half an eye, half a thought almost, on that world lead. It is his own world lead at the moment, 17:66. But how brilliant that would be if he could just get a little bit closer to that this evening. And there you can see the results after 4 rounds of the men's triple jump competition. Martinez choosing to skip in this round. That's why we went from Hibbett straight to Scott. And there we have the results as we head into the next round for the women's long jump contest. Round 5 heading our way. Money Nichols still in the lead. Nova. Now that looked better on the board to me. The white flag goes up now. That'll be a relief for the young athletes. We've got something in the board in round 1 and has had 3 no jumps since. And look, you can see she was overcautious on the board that time. That is better. Another foul. It is an improvement. 5:67. And you can see that she is still frustrated by the evening she's had, but that is definitely a positive step forward. She has broken the 6-metre barrier. Her PB 6:22. It's an indoor best. Charlton. Another athlete that has struggled with no jumps throughout this competition, and that looks like it may just have been another. Oh, that is close. Now, to us, that looks like it should be a given jump. Has it been measured? I couldn't quite see the flag go up in the background of those replays. So, oh, that's a real shame. That is unfortunate for Anthea Charlton, because that is what you would call normally, if we were still using the plasticine method, that is what you would call the perfect jump. But unfortunately, times have changed. And we move on to Johansson. And the white flag goes up. Good on the board there. So a reminder that we are using a laser system now, and that's why the jump we saw previously, just a second ago from Charlton, would have been given as a no jump, because the laser would have detected that it broke the vertical plane of where the plasticine used to lie. So the old method, we would look for a mark in the plasticine. Now a laser detects whether or not that vertical plane was broken. And unfortunately for her, whilst it looks to us like it should have been a valid jump, the laser detected otherwise. But Robinson then, a couple of no jumps in the early rounds. 6:39 from round 3, her best. Not this time. Another foul in round 5. Ooh, and it's not by that much. So that is a real shame as well. See the spectators really enjoying being able to be so close to the athletes and really see what goes on in between rounds and in between jumps. Athletes layering up, layering down, warm-ups, activations, all these things. Kapaccia then. Fourth at the Tokyo Worlds in September. But a no jump this time. Her second of the competition. She'll have to accept that there will be no progression in her jumps this time.
Takže Francúzska ostáva na druhej pozícii 653, stále je chýba 16 cm na líderku zo Spojených štátov, ktorá by mala skákať teraz. Tak predsa sa vraciame k Jamajčanke Kelly Smithovej. 650, a chce ísť určite minimálne cez paček.
So Smith up next. Can she beat 650? Her best so far of the evening. Season's best as well. Still behind the board. So far back, in fact. 6:19 in the 5th round for Smith, so no improvement this time. Currently sits in 3rd position in this competition. And we head to event leader Monet Nichols. She was 5th at the World Indoors in 2025 and 2026 after claiming a silver in 2024. 6th in the Paris Olympics in the long jump final. Always in amongst those conversations that runs through this time. 6:69 from round 1. That was a great way to open the show, wasn't it? And there we go, we close round 5. Monet Nichols still in the lead. Look at that, mid-competition, and she stops and takes the time to pause and take photos. A reminder of the triple jump standings, and it looks like Martinez again skipping round 5. Will we see him back? Napoles then. Will be a legal jump, perhaps not quite something that he's too thrilled by. Looks like that knee might just be providing him with a bit of bother. It was almost a little bit stilted, wasn't it, in that first phase of his jump. No jump in the end for Napoles. They getting the crowd involved again. They'll have had a great evening, the spectators. Back on the runway then for round number 5.
What's good? I'm at level go, come on, new find shit all on. So cook up in out on a joke, there's dirt underneath my nails, still rough on my hair, looks cool. I seen a man drop like hardback, walk still rolling mine.
Oh, and that's unfortunate. He did well to stay on his feet there, actually. A bit of an over-rotation. Yeah, he knew that he was way over. So fascinating watching athletes talk to their coach in between attempts and seeing how it causes them to adapt and move forwards in the competition. Such a unique part of field eventing. Robinson then. decent. The white flag goes up. Won't be the longest we've seen, but good on the board there. Really strong, actually. Just a couple of centimetres. Much better than we have seen. 16:48, that's better. So Robinson sits 5th as things stand.
No a teraz ide ten, ktorý je tretí, 16:69 a chce ísť minimálne cez Martinez.
Jaden Hibbert. Now that was an explosive jump. The first phase of that really had a lot of power behind it, and he was able to carry that momentum beautifully. Now 16:69. 16:66 in round 5, so very similar to his previous jump.
Nie, nebolo to s prešlapom, takže to sa ešte všetko na 16:66 sme sa dostali. Tak, to je správne.
Very decent on the board, and we've had quite a few athletes really struggle with the board tonight, so it's good to see that as we head towards the end of this competition that we are starting perhaps to just refine that some more. 17:44, this man's best so far tonight. Oohs and ahs every time he takes to the runway.
Jordan Scott snáď to bude opäť cez 17 metrov. Takto nám tu Jordan Scott lieta Košice a Žlutnej ulici.
Good on the board there. That's the kind of thing we'd expect from our leader. 17:38, so no improvement, but another very strong jump. We've not had any of his jumps measure below 17 meters, actually. Now you can see Martinez still in second despite skipping the last 2 rounds. Monet Nichols leading in the women's long jump so far. She's been there since the very opening jump. We move into round number 6. Shamanova, she's not had the evening she wanted so far. She's got one more attempt to see if she can really get something out of tonight. It's got to be said though, she's done brilliantly to get herself back and to improve on that first round jump after 3 no jumps in a row. That takes a lot of mental resilience. It's another white flag. And 582, that's a nice jump up. And hopefully that means that she can be happy with the evening in the end. Not too far away from her season's best. Charlton up next. So Charlton, she struggled with no jumps as well. Just one valid jump this evening. And that's a real shame. Her 6:06 will have to be enough for her tonight.
ešte ostávajúca petica sa pomýva najvyššie priečky, je tam Kosice Johnsonová, Mia Robinsonová, Kosice Smith, Hilaria Pacha a Mona Nichols. A teraz práve Švédka, ktorá je nebežne 5. s výkonom 615, musí pridať 20 cm, aby atakovala Robinsonovu.
Johansson. The crowd already know that she wants the clap, that she wants that rhythmic build-up. And they beat her to it. She didn't even have to ask, did she? Here she goes. To the Johansson. 6:15 to beat. Just get the white flag this time, so can she improve? That's 6:15. 6:73 is her personal best. That was back in 2019, so due for revision, you could say. 6:24, so it is her best of the evening. And a lovely clap to the crowd to say thank you so much for your support and encouragement throughout this. They really have bought in, haven't they, the spectators tonight? So Mia Robinson.
Mia Robinson.
6:39 in round 3, her best of the evening. And it's going to remain that way. A red flag to close off round 6 for her. Oh, and only just as well, so that is a shame. Robertson slightly frustrated by that, and understandably so, really. Pacha. .702, her lifetime best. Just 3 centimetres off her season's best tonight. She had some great speed on that approach. Another athlete way, way behind the board. Oh, that is so much wasted space. You can see she knows it as well. 6:19, so not her best tonight, but still a decent evening for her. She sat in second place currently with that 6:53 from earlier on. That was back in round 4. Smith wasting no time in getting her 6th round jump underway, and here she goes. Now, that looks pretty strong to me. Lovely height on that jump. Good on the board as well, no stress there at all. .649, so just a centimetre off her best from tonight. And we said earlier on how consistent her card had been, and again, just look at that, 6:19 her worst this evening. Everything else has been superb. Everything else has been in and around that 6:40 sort of mark. But here we go with Mona Nichols. She's just enjoying it. Saying thank you to everybody. She loves coming here. She was second last year. She's won this evening. Mona Nichols just 1 centimetre away from equaling the meeting record. And she hops off the runway. She doesn't need her final jump. She just wanted to say thank you to the crowd, show her appreciation, and she retires there knowing that she's done enough to take home the prize pot tonight to take home the win, improving on last year's performance. Well, we move then into the final round of this elite men's triple jump contest. Jordan Scott comfortably clear at the top of the table so far. It would take a big jump to catch him, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. Napoli psyching himself up for his final jump in Kosice. He had several top 10 finishes at the World Champs, 4th in 2017 and 9th in very flat jump there, and all the stages he never really got any height, and it was a red flag anyway.
And he's 7th.
And that is the end of the evening for Napoles.
Zatiaľ na 4. pozícii je Senegalčan s výkonom 16.56, ktorý sa chce pokúsiť.
Kingley. Fourth at the World Juniors in 2021. My apologies, he will be up next, I believe. It is Faye, who is currently on the runway. I believe we'll see Kingley after him. So, Faye, ready for his last jump of the night. Another red flag. A lot of these athletes now, with it being their last jump, they will just give it absolutely everything, and that does sometimes lead to some fouls and some no jumps being committed. It does pay off. We can see some huge jumps in the final round, so it's a risk that a lot of the athletes are happy to take.
Už nebude na tých prvých troch, ale ešte môže klesnúť, pretože za ním budú skákať ešte Kingley aj Robinson. A teraz teda rakúsky reprezentant by mal byť s výkonom 16.34.
Now we see Kingley. As I was mentioning, 4th at the World Juniors in 2021, 23 years of age, and world finalist in Tokyo back in September. So a bright future ahead of this athlete for sure. 16.85 is personal best. Great speed there, and just not enough height to carry him into the sandpit properly, and he says thank you very much to the crowd. You've been brilliant. 16.34 will remain his best mark of the day.
Robinson taktiež najhoršie 5. A potom čakáme tú ostávajúcu trojku. Lazaro Martinez pravdepodobne skákať už nebude, ale je tam ešte Huberta Scott, ktorý nám pekné divadlo môžu ešte predviesť. No teraz ten, ktorý je zatiaľ 5.
Darkness really has fallen over Kosice as this competition does begin to conclude. Russell Robinson is up for his final round jump. Another one that just runs through it. Not quite able to get it right in round 6.
Na 5. mieste Faye je 4. a už len ostávajúca horná trojica. River, Martinez, Scott. Zistujeme, že
another one just behind the board.
Tak ešte bude chcieť prekonať možno tú 17-metrovú hranicu.
16.48 his best this evening, and that came in the penultimate round in round 5. it'll be enough for Robertson to be 5th in this contest tonight. Here we see Hibbert getting the crowd amped up for the final few jumps that we'll see at the 2026 JBL Jump Fest. He's being asked for all sorts of high fives and crowd engagement there. And a nice jump. Easy on the board, no stress there at all, plenty of space. Is it better than the 16.69 from round 4? Are all held in eager anticipation. Here we see his jump again. He really is being taunted here almost. And there we go, 16.52 to close this evening. Well, here he is, Martinez. He skipped a couple of rounds, but he's back for round 6. And has he got something big? He's the only man now that can challenge Jordan Scott. No, not this time. That's a shame. Perhaps to be expected, though, after sitting out a big portion of the competition. Not quite got the same feel for the runway and the same warmth and activation in your muscles, perhaps, as the other athletes. So, not entirely surprising. Well, Jordan Scott then, we've already had a meeting record. Well, we've already had 2 really from him, haven't we? 17.44 is best so far tonight. Jordan Scott just running through. And why not? He can enjoy his victory. The crowd have loved seeing him compete this evening. And he just ran straight through, didn't he? Oh, what a fantastic evening it has been at the JBL Jump Fest. As I was saying earlier on, it is the 11th edition of this competition. It never ever fails to disappoint. There are your results for the elite men's triple jump contest, and that's 17.44. It's just superb from Jordan Scott. We opened with a spectacular 17.43 and backed it up again in round 4. We didn't actually see him dip underneath that 17-meter mark, which is truly impressive. Crowds beginning to disperse somewhat from the beloved street meet. It is such a special occasion every year, and the organisers doing a brilliant job of helping it grow year on year. They really do attract some top-level names now. The conditions looked slightly precarious in Kosice as we were coming into the meet. There was a bit of drizzle, some relatively gusty winds as well, but luckily it seemed to calm down just a little bit as we headed into competition. The weather dried up, the wind's still a bit blustery, but nothing too major. And we got some brilliant performances throughout the evening, didn't we? And there we have the top three from the elite women's long jump as well. Monet Nichols improving her position from last year. Kapacha coming in second, and Smith closing off the podium.
So ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you the best of today between ladies long jump elite competition. Mona Nichols, United States of America, 669, 669 cm.
Monet Nichols just being presented with her prizes
JBL Jump Fest.
after a wonderful evening and a wonderful performance.
Thank you so much. No a prakticky okamžite môžeme vyhlásiť aj mužskú súťaž. Víťazom trojskoku mužov kategórie Elite Jordan Scott, Jamaica, 17:34. 17:44.
Jordan Scott enjoying his moments as well.
Jordan Scott by mal dostať ešte aj špeciálnu cenu, a special prize for a new JBL Jump Fest record. 17:44. 17:44 and no.
There you can see he's being presented with an extra gift from JBL for his meeting record. Extra acknowledgement of his fantastic performance this evening.
Naozaj skvelé skoky, ešte fotografie. Je tam Anka Kirnová, Stano Nálesňák, otec tohto projektu, a je tam aj pán Igor Pekarčík, ktorý je starosta mestskej časti Košice, Staré mesto. Média už sú pripravené na rozhovory s najlepšími v dnešnom dni. A nám už ostáva len poďakovať naozaj všetkým športovcom za tú...
It really has been, as I mentioned, such an electric evening in Kosice. You can see the atmosphere still down there now. It is a meeting that we are very lucky to have. And there's confirmation of that men's podium as well. Martinez coming through second, and Hibbert completing the top three. It has been a pleasure to join you for JBL Jump Fest this evening, so thank you very much for tuning in. We look forward to the 2027 edition already. Hopefully we'll see you then. A ešte veľká vďaka aj partnerom Mondo, Fresh, zdravšie potraviny, Aquapro, zdravá voda na dosah, Autovalas, dobrá voľba, Aslan, všetko prevodu, Cafebri, 365 Fit & Co, Gymnázium Park Mládeže, Stredná športová škola, Gymnázium Opatovská a Toyota. No a samozrejme, tá najväčšia vďaka celému týmu okolo Stanislava Návesňáka, ktorý to vymyslel už v roku 2016.